what this is here is basically a simple programming language that looks like Lego, that plugs in via USB to a hub.
Wow.
Into which is plugged two things. You see they just snap right in?
Yeah.
So this is a light sensor, an object detector.
Right.
That snaps in. This is a motor. That snaps in.
Look at that.
And the rest of it is just standard Lego parts. There's gears, there's belts and pulleys. And then what's cool is that this plugs into the computer, and the kids have a very similar Lego-like experience in programming it.
Right, right.
So this is a program that's actually running. That when I click play, it sits and it waits for that detector to be triggered. I trigger it again, it happens again.
And the numbers underneath is the amount of time that
exactly.
it takes.
So if and it's all changeable live. So I want to change this to be 2 seconds. 2 seconds one way, 1 second the other way.
Wow.
And I've got a while loop here that's continuing over and over again. So if I just take that off.
Just drag and drop.
Drag and drop. No words anywhere. So you see it's flashing.
Yeah.
It's waiting for that object.
The sensor.
Then it goes 2 seconds, turns 1 second, starts over again. It's waiting again.
Wow.
So to be clear, we didn't create this. This is a Lego education product.
Right.
Where we came into the fold is, okay, here's a great product that's targeted at third grade teachers and third grade students. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the challenges for the typical third grade teacher, if I were to generalize, is they're not used to programming. They're not necessarily used to building. The thought of these simple machines, such as the gears, the belts, and the pulleys, that's not something they're experienced with.
True.
So what Lego needed was someone to lower that barrier of entry, to make sure that the success of the student and the teachers was almost guaranteed.
Right.
And beyond that, and the piece that I'm most proud of is the third grade student experience and the teacher experience. They're with that teacher all day.
Sure.
Right? They're there for science and math and language and French and gym. And so if the teacher only sees this as a very specialized activity where they're just building, then it's only useful for a little bit of the time.
Right.
And, you know, from a business point of view, that means fewer sales, right?
Right.
So what Lego came to us for was to create not just something which makes it easier for teachers and students to use, but something which is, the term is cross-curricular, meaning it can be used for social science class, math class, and language class.
Right.
And there are tools built into this to do storyboarding, to allow kids to tell stories, to allow multiple computers and multiple systems to interact. And so our expertise, and again, referring to the teacher as the linchpin of our process, someone who can look at this and not just see, well, how can I change that? Well, I can make that gear bigger and that gear smaller to increase the torque, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't matter to a third grade kid or to a third grade teacher.
True.
You know, what really is important is understanding, how do I use this effectively? So this is a simple video that's task-based, that's telling the kids how to do something, telling the teacher how to do something.
That's great.
So even though we can see it's super simple, you know, I've done this 10 times. I can demonstrate it. I can explain it to kids, no problem.
Right.
But the first time a teacher sees this, the first time they use it in the classroom, they may need some additional support. And that's really where we come in, that additional support. So we deliver a DVD-ROM, which can be installed on the computer to allow them to access these additional support materials that are videos. This is the nice thing about having the teacher sitting beside the graphic designer, sitting beside the web designer, is that all this is delivered through a simple web page. You know, there's introductory material, there's videos on each of these things. Very easy to navigate, very kid and very teacher friendly.
Right, and you've made it completely simple.
That's the idea. So not only is the tool simple, but the support resources needs to be, and that's where we come in.
Right.